Two completely different starts for the Quinnipiac basketball teams up at TD Bank Sports Center. The women's basketball team off to a 3-0 start, while the men's team suffered a 24-point loss in its home opener to Vermont. Welcome inside Hot Hoops, presented by Q30 Sports and Q30 Television. I'll be your host, Maury Hirsch-Gordon. And our first special guest of the night is Brian Schwartz. Brian, Quinnipiac women's basketball beat reporter. I know it's your first year on the beat. And before we get to the team or anything, how have you enjoyed the season so far?
I mean, I'm loving it. They're so fun to watch. They're just a dominant team. It's gonna be really fun to watch them down the stretch of the season.
Dominant for sure. 3-0 to start the year. 3 wins over three really good teams. Florida Gulf Coast, they defeated them by 10 points. A team that was a top 10 mid-major team in the country to start off the season. A team that had Quinnipiac's number the last 2 seasons, defeating Quinnipiac in the St. Joseph's Hawks championship game, as well as down in Florida. Then they come back down 17 and beat a Dayton team 63-60, who was in the Elite Eight just 2 years ago. And then they defeat Holy Cross tonight on Wednesday night, 78-55. So what stands out to you the most from their impressive start?
I mean, it's obviously the depth that they show. They finally used the Gold Rush for the first time tonight. That was 5 players in, 5 players out at a time, and they have the talent that they could use that. I mean, you can throw in Adelie Martucci, you could throw in Carly Fabry at the guard spot, you have Erin McClure, and then down low you could put in Morgan Mans, and then she steps outside and shoots threes. Paula Stroutmani she attacks the boards like it's nobody's business. I mean, it's just really impressive stuff that they have.
One of the players you mentioned, Morgan Mans, seemingly can do it all. It really seems like, depending on which 5 Trisha Fabry has out on the court, pretty much all 5 can shoot the 3 ball, can play inside, can drive, can put it on the floor. But Morgan Mans, specifically averaging 14 points in her senior campaign, 4 rebounds a game. Do you think she's going to lead the team in points, because she came out with a career-high 19 against Dayton in that comeback victory, and she had 16 tonight against Holy Cross?
Yes, absolutely. I think she can. I mean, she had 16 tonight, like we said. She can shoot the ball from 3, from beyond the arc. She can post up and get the ball in the basket from down low. She can do it all, and that's what's so great about her. And that's what's so great about this whole Quinnipiac team, is they're all able to do a lot of different things with the basketball.
Another player that can seemingly do it all is Erin McClure. Erin McClure with quite the week. Her first ever, hard to believe, Brian, first ever MAC Player of the Week award this past week. And she also earned the College Sports Madness MAC Women's Basketball Player of the Week as well. So a clean sweep for the sophomore from New York. 14 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocks, 4 assists in the win against Florida Gulf Coast. You think a quadruple double is out of the question this year?
No, I don't think that's out of the question. I think she has the talent that she can get that done. I mean, we saw there with 5 blocks and 4 assists. Who says why can't she get more than 4 assists in a game? I mean, playing at a guard position or forward even. They have so many scorers on this team that you don't have to have one player scoring the 20 points a game. It's going to be all around, so it doesn't have to just be McClure. She can be able to pass the ball around more during every game.
Yeah, these numbers, are within 20 to 25 minutes played, because Quinnipiac has been winning these games by such a large margin outside of the Dayton game. So, her per 40 minute stats are going to clearly be, close to a quadruple double night in and night out. Let's transition now over to the MAC as a whole. You have some updates, from the league. What would you like the first week?
Yeah, I mean, over the weekend we saw Iona dominate Stony Brook. They won 57-46. Iona had 4 players play 36 plus minutes in that game. So it's going to be interesting to see if that continues. I mean, we saw Quinnipiac, they're able to have their players play less minutes because they have so many players that have the talent. Iona with Marina Lizarazu, she only had 9 points. She's obviously going to improve from that, and she's going to continue to play the big minutes for them. Otherwise, Fairfield and Marist, they both also lost. They were the 4 and 5 preseason teams in the MAC. They lost their first games, but look for them to improve too.
Definitely teams that will be in the mix, semifinals, championship weekend come March at the Times Union Center. Before we let you go, Brian, a big weekend over Thanksgiving break for this Quinnipiac women's basketball team. At first on Sunday, it faced a Northeastern team that it just edged by 1 point last year in overtime, and then it plays Temple, who it split with last year, a team that was picked second in the American Conference behind the UConn Huskies. A regular season win last year, a tough WNIT second round loss against the Owls. How do you see this Thanksgiving week spanning?
I mean, these teams are both 2-0. They're both looking really good early on in the season. But I think Quinnipiac can win both of these games. We saw that they're able to beat these 2 powerhouse mid-major schools. And why can't they beat a team like Northeastern or a team like Temple? I'm going to give you 2 players to watch over this week. Jen Janko for Northeastern, she's averaging 22 points a game. And for Temple, junior guard Tanaya Atkinson, she's actually from New Haven, Connecticut. It's going to be a homecoming game for her, so look for her to have a big game. But I don't see any reason why Quinnipiac can't stop those 2.
If Quinnipiac wins these 2 games, their RPI will keep moving up into the top 10. Before we head to break, we want to catch you up with the latest College Insider Mid-Major Top 25 poll. Here's our full screen graphic. While we only could fit the top 20 in, really only the top 10 matter for the fans at home. Quinnipiac coming in this week at number 7, a 6 place jump up from 13 last week. As you see, South Dakota, Green Bay, Gonzaga, the top 3. Quinnipiac, Brian, will face New Mexico State in their first game in a Las Vegas tournament over December break, something that we will preview on Hot Hoops in the upcoming weeks. And Iona, another MAC foe, the team who beat Quinnipiac in that Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference championship game last year, they come in this week at number 17. And when we come back, we will talk a little bit about the men's basketball team. Senior men's basketball beat reporter Tom Cunningham will join me on the desk. Brian, thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me, Maury.